Namaskar and a very happy Sunday evening to you, all of you guys. And thank you to all of you guys for taking some time out. Today we have got this beautiful mix of our past, present, and future students together, and we're gonna be rolling on with the conversation. And it's gonna be an open house. All the people who have got we through the course of the preparation for the event, we have collected a lot of questions already from the people who are going to be participating today. Kirit is one of our champion students from our campus, and he's had a beautiful journey so far, and he's been making his mark in the corporate side of the world.
Corporate sector Asian Paints subsidiary Sleek International, for which I used to take care of design and operations for the entire Rajasthan state. So I was having 14 stores under me, individual designers at every store, and installation team and supervisors.
Right.
It was almost 20 to 22 days a month I used to travel. Then I shifted to Mumbai for 1.5 years. I was handling a team of 35 designers along with the fulfillment team, the installation teams, and everybody.
I actually passed out art college in 2009, and it was a wonderful experience at Arch. And after that, I went to Bangalore for my job. In 2011, I came back to Jaipur because this is such a rich city full of craft and art, and I really love the vibe of the city. So I came back to Jaipur, and I started working as Sthapatya architect with architects Ritu Khandelwal and Sandeep Khandelwal. There I got an opportunity to work on a couple of residential and office projects, and also I got an opportunity to work on the Alela Fort Bishangar on Delhi Road. It was a heritage property, and also I got an opportunity to work on 9 Dot Squares. That's a event that's basically a trade show, commercial and interior design. And last year I got an opportunity to actually renovate interiors of my own college, Arts College, and that was a lovely experience and to work.
Next, Apurva, are you there? Apurva.
Myself, Apur Saxena, and I also did BSc Interior Design, 3 years course. And as soon as I passed out, I started on my own. I did a freelancing interior designing. I do projects like residential, official, and all. And for 3 years, I did that practice. After that, I was like turned out to be a set designer because I had an opportunity to design a stage for National Youth Festival. So there and then I got to know ki this is my interest level and a heights ki I can do a set design, I can do a light design. So I turned my whole business fortune into a wedding designer, and from last 6 years I'm practicing as a wedding designer. So and I'm enjoying my this transformation of interior designer into a wedding designer.
Deepta Shri Saha, can you say hi to our audience, please?
Hi everyone. Yeah, this is Dipta Shri Shah. I passed out of art in 2017, and I was a graduate under Pearson. I was like one of the first. I'm the first batch of the Pearson education system, and I'm practicing as an interior designer since last 3 years now. Specializing as a furniture designer and interior stylist. I head a furniture firm with my partner. Where we work with a lot of solid wood and have a really sustainable approach towards the design, and functions are important and aesthetic just follow, and all those kind of stuff. Yeah, so it's been like really interesting journey working closely with all the artisans and understanding the craft that the craftsmanship that we have already in India and just exploring them. So it's been quite a journey. Yeah.
I had a question for Kirit sir, that since we know like interior is something like, okay, we have to design a residential, commercial, and luxurious design, but like when I was reading his profile, I came to know that he has done some stuff about the thermal power plant, and he had designed the spaces over there. So it's very different. Like if you have to design an industrial space, because the work was also going on, and he used to design the space like there also, and workers भी काम कर रहे हैं and everything. So workers का mindset and the functionality of that space is completely different to the space that we go day by day use. So I want to just ask, like, what was the difference, and how to even do something like that, because it was a very different thing that generally interior designer don't know. I really didn't know that something like this even happens, like hota bhi aisa kuch. So I just wanted to ask him that.
So before I came to this particular industry, even I was exactly like you. I didn't knew that these kind of spaces also needs a designer. To be very honest.
Okay.
ठीक है बिल्कुल बिल्कुल क्लियर स्टेटमेंट है मुझे भी नहीं पता था कि ऐसा भी कुछ होता है बट व्हेन आई गॉट दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी आई थॉरली सेड कि why not to encourage this and why not to learn a new segment. So when we used to do a control room, we need to have a clear analysis कि उस particular control room का requirement क्या है. वहां पे कितने operators बैठने वाले हैं, वहां पे कितने DCS operators बैठने वाले हैं, वहां पे कितने consoles लगने वाले हैं, उस plant का पूरा function क्या है. Suppose if it is a steel plant में कितने hammers चलने वाले हैं, हर hammer के लिए कितने control होने चाहिए. ये सारा डिटेल जब हम स्टडी करते थे ना मतलब I was surprised to have that few of my projects got a AutoCAD file of in GBs. मतलब उस टाइम पे आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट 2012 13 14 15 12 11 से 15 तक की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ मेरी AutoCAD फाइल जीबीज में चली जाती थी which was still surprising कि जहां AutoCAD फाइल केबी एमबी से ऊपर नहीं चढ़ती है वहां पे जीबी की फाइल को कैसे हैंडल करो.
Exactly.
और उसमें अच्छा व्हेन यू आर डिजाइनिंग अ पावर प्लांट का कंट्रोल रूम या स्टील प्लांट सीमेंट प्लांट उसमें होता क्या पैसा लगाने वाला कोई और है जिसने पैसा लगाया है वो उस कंट्रोल रूम में जीवन में कभी नहीं आने वाला है वो ज्यादा से ज्यादा जाता है अपने चेंबर में कॉन्फ्रेंस हॉल में या फिर उसका जो कैफेटेरिया है और या फिर उसका स्पोर्ट्स कॉम्प्लेक्स उसके अलावा वो कंट्रोल रूम में जीवन में शायद कभी नहीं आता कंट्रोल रूम में भी नहीं आता कंट्रोल रूम का एक सबसे स्पेसिफिक रिक्वायरमेंट होता है वो होता है व्यूइंग गैलरी तो वो क्या करता है जब उसके एग्जीक्यूटिव आते हैं जब उसके बायर्स आते हैं तो वो उनको लेके व्यूइंग गैलरी से अपने कंट्रोल रूम का पूरा फंक्शनिंग दिखाता है कि यहाँ पे मेरा कंट्रोल रूम है ये कैसे काम करता है दीज आर द फैसिलिटीज दैट आई हैव एंड आई एम केपेबल इनफ टू फुलफिल योर रिक्वायरमेंट. तो उस कंट्रोल रूम की स्पेस का जो हम इंटीरियर्स करते थे वो उन लोगों के लिए करते थे जो व्यूइंग गैलरी से देखते थे.
Hello everybody, my name is Katyani and I'm doing Masters in Interior Design and Entrepreneurship. I'm currently in my second year and I want to thank everybody who made this opportunity possible because this to Ditanshi ma'am is that how to recognize what your forte is at the start of your career because interior design is provides a spectrum of options. So how to know what your forte is so that you can work on it more and emphasize on it more.
I would like to say it's really intimidating. I totally understand. Like even when I was studying and finishing with my course and everything, very intimidating. How to find your mark more than a forte. What is the mark that you want to leave behind being a designer? So that is the challenge. But then the idea should be to experience the life right now. Try exploring different things. Try turning all the stones that you come across in your life, in your path, and keep on exploring, keep on understanding new concepts. Now because of the lockdown thing, the things are going to change a lot. So develop your skills, find new ways to present yourself. So I would say that, and also when you're in the industry, take up different job roles. Like don't stick कि हाँ मैं डिजाइनर हूँ मुझे इंटीरियर डिजाइनर का ही काम करना है मुझे और कुछ एक्सपीरियंस नहीं करना है. If your boss suggests you to do something else which is like managing the team maybe or managing an event for example, so don't just be like participate in everything that you come across. I'm sure you'll definitely
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nupur. I am currently pursuing my HND Pearson HND BTech Level 5 in Interior Design. So basically, my question is to Chandni Sharma ma'am. So since you have worked in numerous cities, I just want to ask that what is your style in interior and how did you build your signature style, and does the inspiration around you
So I'll just repeat she's been nice enough to paste the question in the chat room. The question is, what is your signature style in interiors and how did you build your signature style, and does the inspiration around you, the new places you visit, your travel, change anything in your style? That's a very, very loaded and a nice question. Yeah, Chandi, over to you.
Yeah, a very interestingly formulated question, Nupur. And I think many of us here wants to really understand the crux behind it. So basically, traveling does play a very important role. Traveling and exposure to various countries, cities does play a very important role. Like when I was working in Bangalore, it was a very straight line and a very clean, neat style. And when I'm working in Jaipur, the style has a little bit of ethnic touch in it, along with like it's less of straight line and more of curves, plain curves. But otherwise, I would like to say one thing, that sticking to one style when we are designing is not a justice to the client. When I design, I believe I am designing it for the comfort of the client. And as a consultant, like I don't call myself a designer, but I call myself a consultant. I am consulting the client for their design needs. And as a consultant, my duty is to make sure that their needs are being fulfilled. So, because we are more into services, we are more into personalization for a client instead of designing a very generic spaces. I would prefer it to be as per the client. Yet, I personally want my space to be very minimum, having very sustainable and green environment around it. So yeah, I mean, I still prefer it to be very client oriented, making sure that their requirements are being fulfilled.
So I'm Himani and I'm doing my master's in interior designing and entrepreneurship. And I'm in my second semester right now. So my question was for Deeptakshi ma'am, that since she has her expertise in furniture, so how the materials in furniture will be impacted post COVID-19?
After this COVID situation and thing, the fact that is very true to all of us is the economy is going to be tight for the entire nation, for the entire world, for that matter's sake. And a lot of people will look towards homegrown pieces, more pieces which will last for a few generations, at least for the lifetime of the client, the consumer who are getting them, more than like 5 years concept which was there initially. We used to get a lot of these things imported from our neighboring countries, and I think that is going to change, and we will look towards more pieces like wood or metal, maybe brass, and pieces or maybe jute. This the natural materials that we have inherently that have been used in our grandparents or before that generation. The materials that have been used and which have lasted us for a very very long time. I'm very sure all of us will must have inherited few furniture pieces which are nostalgic to every one of us from our grandparents and our forefathers, and it is a bit of a story of aging. So I think that concept will come back, and materials like them, like cane and everything, is definitely going to come in and have a beautiful to change the design scape. I feel, yeah, truly.
Just can't get my mind to shift from this wedding design. I love the term. Uh, okay, so wedding designer, is it a term which you have coined, or is it like it was a prevalent category? Did you create one for yourself, or was it a
Actually,
prevalent
yeah,
one?
yeah. I created this word actually, being like I'm more of commercial. So I did give a commercial name, wedding designer, which people understand much better. But basically, the work is exactly the same of an interior designer, because I also sketch, I also give 3Ds, I give presentations, and then the only switch of the game is I have to do it in 3 days or 4 days of time. The erection of structure and the beautification, and then demolish it again. So this is a very small phase of time in which I have to create, and I have to deliver it. So I have to keep in mind the materials, I have to keep in mind the time, and also the deliverables which client requires. Like they have n numbers of requirements according to a wedding and according to their budget. And budget is the foremost thing. I have a set budget in which I have to deliver 3 to 4 events. So I have to design accordingly, and I deal with a- n number of material like fabric. Also I'm into textile also, because when I
So
design
would you be
wedding.
closely partnering with the wedding planners or the event managing people, or
Yeah, Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
one-stop shop.
Wedding planners hire me for to design a wedding, and
Okay.
my role starts from presentation and till the execution. Even the production is done by my team. So I have a production house where I take care of all the production, with which is iron
Beautiful.
or wood and any kind of material. So that's the role which I play normally.
The last of the question for this Q&A session to one of our aspiring students. So amongst us, if there is any aspiring student who
Actually, I have seen in your college about retail design, interior and retail design. So I want to know about what is retail design, means what is the process and what it is kind of design.
So basically, retail spaces have a lot to do with the user experience. Majorly, we have to be very clear about who is our client, and what is the genre or the category of the retail store that we are designing for. And while you're designing a retail store, you really need to understand the products very closely so that you're able to do the justice with the designing. For example, if you're designing for a cafe or a bakery, so you need to know what are the category of products that they produce, and you need to understand the whole, like you should be really vocal about understanding from the client that what exactly are they looking for in terms of.
And now let me invite the inspiration behind this design movement called the Arch. That's Miss Archana Surana, our founder director. So I invite her to share her thoughts with us right now. Ma'am Archana Surana.
Thank you, Team Arch. I really want to acknowledge, the contribution of all the people in the last 20 years who have shaped the future of these young people in our, who you've seen just right now. So we had Kirit from the 2003 to 6 batch. We had Chani 6 to 9. We had Apurv who joined in, I think, 2009 or so. Maybe 2008, 8 to 11, and then Diptashri, who passed out 3 years back. So it's been interesting, and I think our young people got an opportunity to interact with them because they are the ones who will actually keep guiding them as mentors, and we will keep ensuring that we keep building this relationship for them such that they can peer mentor each other, share best practices, enable an ecosystem that can support their future endeavors, and that Arch Creative Enterprise is something that we believe in. And we try and make sure that our whole education system is very inclusive. While we're working with the crafts and the community at one side, we're working with the industry and the corporates, and working with forums, which are both industry, academia kind of forums on the other side. We have partnerships with a lot of international institutions to do joint projects. So if you look at creative enterprise, you're looking at co-creation with stakeholders. We are looking at making sure that our students, are people who can, who understand interdisciplinary learning. So the whole ecosystem at Arch allows people, whether you are enrolled on fashion or jewelry or interiors, but you get to experience to be with students from other streams and work in a collaborative manner with them. And this allows them to truly experience their, whole the design acumen. Today, when Apurv said that, he's a wedding designer, I think a lot of that came because he came to a very specialized design school rather than going to a university and taking up one degree. So while he had students on the foundation from the fashion program and the jewelry course and the product course who were alongside working with him. And Apurv got to marry his classmate Swati. So Swati is also an alumni, so I don't want to discount that I want to equally acknowledge because she is a co-creator in the whole wedding design business with him. 20 years has been an exciting time of, offering our intention and getting into reality in terms of the different kind of degree pathways that we have here with us. So while we all have the bachelor's in design, which is affiliated to the University of Rajasthan, the Pearson BTech is a program which is an international study abroad program. So the students study 3 years with us here in India, and the 4th year they travel abroad to complete their degree. And then we again have a BWOC where I'm sitting as a dean with the Rajasthan Skills University, which is India's first skills university. So for fashion, jewelry, and interiors. So the BWOC course is actually aimed at making sure that, it's more employment based. The course is, designed such that you can work in the industry and you can be on the campus at the same time. And that ensures that your internship and, the apprenticeship kind of thing actually starts much earlier. And you are truly employable by the time you actually move out of the course. And the master's course is purely design and entrepreneurship led. So you have a business plan in hand, you make sure that you can get in funding, if you're looking at funding, or if you're wanting to work with a company as well, it's very important to have the entrepreneurial spirit that would actually make you successful. So I think I've shared with you what are our offerings, and while we also have the 6 months and the 1 year course, we've given a very special delight now that anybody who walks in the campus, the very first person who walks inside the campus gets a 50% fee rebate on the tuition fee. And it is just because of the COVID where everybody's so scared of coming out of the homes. So we said, because they are fearless people, let's give them some delight. So that's the delight where we are going to be offering to people who are going to step inside the campus, the first admission of the day. So that's a delight offer. Then 3 people who are going to be, taking admissions online, they are going to be getting around 15% of scholarship, on a daily basis. 3 people are going to get. So that's another COVID offer. So COVID has given a lot of incentives also to people. So interesting. So this is a time where we all need to co-create, support each other, make sure that we build together. And I think our alumni and our existing students coming together, it's building together. So I'm really optimistic about the future. And I see that this generation is more going to be conscious about who they are as human beings and who they are as designers for the planet. So thank you so much and have a nice evening. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for those beautiful words. And yes, it was a delight for all of us to get together on a Sunday evening. And thank you all for participating here, and hope to see you again come in, because we're going to have this as we already have. Please try to us on our Insta and our Facebook and our YouTube. You'll get to see that this is a recurring thing, and I'd love to see all you people up for our next session also. Okay, and we keep on having these master classes also, and these interactive sessions and the Insta Live. I would love to see all of you out there, and to keep a track of that, you will need to subscribe to our Insta, YouTube, and Facebook. All right, and thank you so much once again for everybody for joining in.